t-shirts and Shanice Reviews is doing this fall this or that. I'm not sure who started it. I think they tagged Alex from Life with Sugar on it, so she'll be doing one too, I'm sure. So I thought I would do it just for fun. Let's see, sunny but cold or rainy. Depends on my mood. Sometimes I like to just cuddle up and listen to the rain, and sometimes I like it. I don't like being cold very much, so it depends on how cold you mean by cold. It's like nice to get out when it's a little nippy, but I don't know how you girls do it that live way up north and you have to shovel your car out of the snow just to go somewhere. I don't like being cold. I've lived pretty much all my life in warmer climates. So I guess I'd say rainy. Cozy jumpers or cozy blankets? Well, this started in the UK, so that's where the jumpers comes in. Jumpers to us is a sweater. Oh, the dog keeps barking. I'll be right back. See what he's barking about. I don't know what he was barking at, but this one I'm not letting out. He was just out. He never comes when I call. I wish I would have had my phone on me. He loves the donkeys, and he really won't come if they're on the other side of the fence. And I had this, it would have been a great picture. He had his little paws up on the fence looking at the donkey, and the donkey they were like nose to nose on either side of the fence. Would have been a cute picture, but didn't have my phone, so you get down. I'll let the big guy out. He can go out and he'll come right back. This one, he's a pill. Let's see, cozy jumpers or blankets. By jumpers they mean sweaters. I like a cozy sweater. I've got a bunch of them. In my closet I've got this like cupboard thing with squares in it where you can put cubes, and I got a bunch of sweaters in my cubes. Shouldn't hang up sweaters, it makes the shoulders weird. But I do love my cozy blankets. We keep them hanging on the back of the couch pretty much all year round because this house gets really cold, whether it's crooked, whether summer, winter, whatever, it gets cold in this house, so we keep blankets, and the dogs keep laying all over them, so I used to wash them maybe a couple times a year because they wouldn't get dirty, but now with the dogs laying all over them, I gotta wash them pretty much every week because they get covered in dog hair. Cup of tea or hot chocolate? I drink tea all the time. In fact, I have a cup of tea. I'll tell you, what is it? Salted caramel with some caramel vanilla cream in it. Yummy. And I don't drink hot chocolate because I can't have a lot of dairy. It makes my stomach hurt. I do make my own hot chocolate sometimes from scratch. So the grandkids, when it gets cold out, they definitely want my homemade hot chocolate. I mean, I buy the instant packets, but it's just not the same as my homemade cook on the stove hot chocolate. Walk through the woods or stay inside? That's again depends on the mood thing. We don't really have any woods around here. I'm in Texas, so you have to drive about over to East Texas, about hour and a half from here maybe, to find some woods. And even then they're not real woods either, just some pine trees. But I used to live in California where you could, go up in the mountains, and there are definitely some woods there. In fact, this time of year we used to go apple picking. There's this place, when I lived in Sacramento, you could go up into the foothills, and there's this place that had this festival, and they'd have, there's this one place you could buy apple pie, and I don't have a picture of it anymore, I don't think, but I swear it's like this tall of an apple pie. And you get a slice of that with some caramel sauce on it. Yummy, yummy. So, I like walking in the woods, but I like staying inside too. Again, depends on the mood and the weather. Apple pie or pumpkin pie? Definitely pumpkin pie with some whipped cream on top. Well, Cool Whip, because that way it doesn't have the dairy. It doesn't hurt my stomach. My eyes are getting droopy. It's almost time for my Botox shot. Those of you who are new or don't know, I have this weird neurological thing that makes my eyes close. There was a 2-year period when I wasn't able to drive because I couldn't figure out what it was because I couldn't keep my eyes open. I'd be like this all the time and be talking to you with my eyes totally closed, and then, you know, like open eyes. And finally, the neurologist I was going to up here, I'm kind of out in the boonies, she's like, well, I don't know what it is, so you can never drive again. And I was like, I was in my 50s, I think, and I'm like, not willing to accept that. So I went down to UT Southwestern, where it's a medical school in Dallas, where they have like all the top guys, and I went from guy to guy to guy until they figured out what it was. I mean, they tested me for narcolepsy and all kinds of weird stuff, and finally this guy figured out what it was. And as long as I go every 10 weeks and get Botox shots, like here and here and here and here and here, like 11 on each side, then now the dog wants I can be back again. Silly dogs. The little guy's sneaky. When I went to let the other one in, he ran out again. It's like, you don't need to be out there all the time. If you'd come when I call and wouldn't try and sneak through the fence, then you could stay out by yourself. Well, probably not, because we have a lot of hawks, and he's, what, you've seen him, he's 6 pounds. We couldn't let him out by himself because of the hawks. Anyway, back to the Botox. If I get the shots every 10 weeks, then it keeps my eyes open so I can drive, which that was a blessing for that guy to figure that out, because it was a pain not being able to drive for a couple years. Luckily, this was such a God thing. We had decided just kind of on a whim to live together. I got a knee replacement and stayed with the kids, well, my son and daughter-in-law and the 2 grandkids, while I was recovering from that. And then I went home, and my daughter-in-law wasn't even working at the time. And I went home, and she's the one that said, you know, we really enjoyed having you there. Would you consider moving in with us? So kind of on a whim, we gave it a try, and it wasn't that long after that that I ended up not being able to drive. So living by yourself and not being able to drive would be terrible. So it was just a God thing that we decided to do that right before I ended up not being able to drive. And now, you know, I can drive and all that, and my daughter-in-law's working a lot, and so I can help out. I do all the cooking, most of the laundry, stuff like that, to help her out. And I enjoy cooking. And nobody enjoys laundry, but it needs to be done. In fact, I'm doing it right now. Okay, back to this. I got off on some weird tangent, I'm sure what. I don't know how apple pie and pumpkin pie led me to that. I have no idea. Oh, I was probably like pulling on my eye and noticed that, because this eye in particular, I had shingles in this eye, in the eye. Ugh. And it made it super light sensitive, so it wants to close all the time. So it's called blepharospasm. The neurological thing is worse on this side because of the shingles. I know, I got weird stuff that happens to me. Like 90% of the people that have shingles, it's on their torso somewhere. 10% have it on their face, and of those 10% that have it on their face, maybe 1% have it in their eye. So whatever that percentage is, it's like an infinitesimal. Those dogs are barking again. I'm ignoring them this time. They've been out. They don't need to go out again. Fairy lights or candles? I put fairy lights on my Christmas tree, but that's about it. I like candles, but they have to be like a food scent. If they're a floral scent, they give me a headache. So, like, I've got a gingerbread candle in here at the moment because it's fall. But, yeah, not a fairy light kind of gal. This is chocolate apple or toffee. Now, here in the U.S., it would be chocolate or caramel, or caramel, whichever way you pronounce it. Because we don't really call them toffee apples. So I would say, oof, I've had those ones, I don't know, I have a friend that makes them and sells them. They're like dipped in like white chocolate or dark chocolate, and then drizzled with maybe another colored chocolate, maybe dipped in some nuts, or they just fancy them up, and those are really yummy. But I like the old-fashioned. They used to make this stuff, and I wish they still made it. You could buy it like in the grocery store by the apples this time of year, and it was these thin sheets of caramel, kind of like, you know, that
That American cheese you get that's got the plastic around it. It was like that, only a little bit bigger and caramel, and each one was an individually wrapped sheet. And as all you did was put the apple in it and fold it up over it. Well, they gave you sticks too. You put the stick in one side and you folded the caramel up over it and stuck it in the microwave for just a couple, like 20, 30 seconds. And there was your caramel apple instead of the whole unwrap all those little things and melt them and all that. This was so easy. And they stopped making them for some reason. I don't know why. I would buy them in a heartbeat if they still made them. Anybody else remember those? Those are so made things so easy. So, I don't know. I probably caramel apples because it's more like the traditional flavor of the season, I guess. But I like the other ones really well too. But too much chocolate, again, gives me it's because of the dairy in it maybe. I don't know. I get a stomach ache from too much dairy and too much chocolate. October or November? Well, since I'm not a real Halloween girl and my birthday's in November, and I love Thanksgiving, I'll have to say November. Craft beer or apple cider? I don't drink at all. I just don't like the taste of it. Don't like beer. Don't like, even as a teenager, everybody else would be getting drunk and I'd be just sitting back laughing at them. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I lived in Northern California where they have all these great wineries, and everybody was always telling me, you just haven't had the right kind of wine. This wine you'll like. No, I won't. I mean, like, I like a daiquiri, but it's got to be a virgin daiquiri. I don't like the alcohol taste in it. I don't even like stuff where the alcohol's been burned out, like it cooked in like not burgundy. Yeah, maybe burgundy, but I don't like it. Even if the alcohol's been cooked out, it just leaves the taste behind. I just don't like the taste. So not a booze kind of gal. Movie marathon or Netflix series. Well, I think most of us, because of the pandemic, we've been on this Netflix kick. Watching this series, that series, watching it to completion, and then like, when are they going to make some new stuff? So I will try and remember and link below the video for Tiffany Wears T-Shirts video and Shanice Reviews video. These are two lovely young ladies to me. I think they're both early 20s, late teens, somewhere around there. And they were just like night and day. Shanice is this very proper British girl with soft-spoken, and then Tiffany Wears T-shirts. She's boisterous and happy, and it's just opposites, but it's fun watching both of them. So I'm going to put this up and link them, and if you all want to do it, I'm not going to pick anybody to do it, but if you all want to do it, go for it. Just come back here and let us know you're doing it so we can come watch it. And I'm working on, and nobody steal this idea, it's my idea, I'm doing it, nobody steal it. I'm working on a Thanksgiving and Christmas this or that. So I'll probably try and have about 10 questions this or that for Thanksgiving and this or that for Christmas. But I won't put it up till closer to Thanksgiving, maybe early to mid-November sometime. And I'll probably go ahead and do them both together instead of doing one. Well, I might separate them. I don't know. What do you think? Should we do the Thanksgiving one in November and then in early December do the Christmas one? And this is I know some of you don't celebrate either one of these holidays, so this is, this is just not your thing. You can either watch it or not, and you don't have to do it if it's, you don't celebrate Christmas. I don't know enough about Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and some of those things to do it for those, because I don't know anything about those holidays really. I know a little bit about Hanukkah, the candles. That's about all I know. So yeah. So I really can't do that. I'll just do what I know, which is Thanksgiving and Christmas. So let me know if you think I should separate them or do them together. I hope you enjoyed this. If you're new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I do this kind of thing. I'm joining the Mask Monday craze. So I did a mask yesterday. I've got some clothing subscription boxes on the way, makeup subscriptions, lifestyle subscriptions, a little bit of cooking. I'm going to make a couple of Halloween cards, and I might
take you with me while I make them and do like a little craft video. I'm thinking about that, probably do that today. So if I do that today, I'll post it tomorrow. And my boxes, I'm surprised that none of my boxes have got here yet, because they all say, oh, they're on the way, but you know how that goes. I hope you all are having a great day. It's my daughter-in-law's birthday, not the one I live with, but my other daughter-in-law. It's funny, my son, her husband, my son, was born 3 weeks early, the same year, they're the same age, and if he would have been born on his due date, they would have been born on the same day. Isn't that interesting? Because his birthday's the end of September, but you know, because he was 3 weeks early, he didn't make it to today. So I think that's interesting that they would have been born on the same exact day. Well, I guess I'll quit rambling and chit-chatting. I've watched other people do these this and that's, and theirs are like 4 minutes, and mine are like 10-20 minutes because I ramble on so much. But I know you love me, so if you listen to my ramblings, I'll talk to you all again real soon. Bye-bye.